Hello, my friends. Hello, my life warriors, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Day In, Day Out podcast. Woo! Today on episode 250, I was very lucky to have Steven Dossou on the podcast. He is a TEDx speaker, co-founder at the Leadership.university, author, transformation coach, and a D.E.I Advocate. We talked about so many things, like, oh my Lord, he is, let's just say, he managed to survive a household with 9 siblings in it, being the second youngest, moving from a 2-bedroom place in Togo all the way over to South Africa with $200, excuse me, not 250, $200 in his pocket to find, basically work his way up as a vacuum cleaner salesman to basically, what he is today. One hell of a motivational leadership guru, I've got to say. I've got to say, we talked about leadership, his journey from South Africa, journey from Togo to South Africa to Asia to basically where he is today. All I've got to say, very inspirational, a joy to have. I look forward to speaking with him again in the future and bringing him back. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show, and let me know how it goes. So please subscribe if you can, and let's take it from there. Have a good one, guys. Peace. Oh. Hello, my friends. Hello, my life warriors, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Day In, Day Out podcast. Woo! Today on episode 250, I am very lucky to have Steven Dossou on the podcast. He is a TEDx speaker, co-founder of the Leadership.university, author, transformation coach, and DEI advocate. My God, do you need any more titles? Admiral, Colonel, General, who else? What else do you need? How are you doing today, Steven?
I'm doing awesome, man. I'm on top of the world. Where you are at, I'm definitely joining you there, and together we're going to roll. I am rocking it, okay? I'm doing awesome, fantastic. Everything that you want to use to describe me, I am doing just awesome like that.
You know what? I like your energy, sir. I like your energy.
Yeah.
My God. Now, look, I have to ask. Now, I alluded to the simple fact that, before we started, there must be a sort of dark tale of how you managed to survive and get to where you are today. Because the reason why I say dark tale, ladies and gentlemen out there, how many siblings do you have?
9.
Okay, look. I have seen what it's been like with my lady and her 2 siblings. And they're all grown and everything like this. And sometimes there's a dark moment where they can turn on each other. Sure. With 9 siblings, how did you manage to survive that? Way back then.
I think that's a very good question. I mean, it's a different story if you have 9 siblings and you have 10 bedrooms in the house, okay? But if you have 9 siblings and then you have 2 little bedrooms with mom and dad having only 1, and you and all the other siblings trying to navigate around the other one that's left, that's a different story, okay? All right. Now, I'm not done with you, okay? Next thing is a different story, okay? If all these 9 siblings about 1 year apart from each other, and they're trying to just complete each other, but look, it's a different story if you are the second youngest. And every time mom dishes that meal, which is probably the second or last meal of the day, you have to really eat with all your big brothers and sisters, and you better make sure you eat fast, okay? You better make sure you eat fast, because if you don't, you're gonna go hungry, okay? So
the second youngest. Oh my God! It's like there is a pecking order here. And you're just like, and you're gonna have to fight it out with your youngest. Oh my Lord! Did you look in a dictionary and look up the word privacy and go, it's a distant fantasy. It's a dream. It's a dream.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I know what it is to, share the same bedroom floor, okay, with the boys being on one side of the floor and then the girls being one side of the floor, okay. I know what it is to have a curtain between these two bedrooms and then having your sister that has just finished, showering. It's no shower, but finished bathing or washing herself and going behind the curtain to change. Okay, so if you ask me, back to the question you asked me, like, how was I able to, how was it like to live with these 9 siblings? Now, here's the thing. Here's the awesome thing about life, but at the same time, a very strange concept to understand. When you are living in poverty, you do not know that you are poor. Okay, when you are born in this 2-bedroom house with all these 9 siblings, for you, that is the normal. Okay, it's only up until you meet a prince that has 5 bedrooms left over in his house that nobody's living in, then you realize that, oh, hang on a second. There's a difference here between what I'm at. Exactly. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that for the good part of my life, that was perfectly fine. That was perfectly normal. It was only until I decided to leave my home country, that when I was about 18 years old, to brave a lot of countries to Africa and get to South Africa, where I decided to actually pursue what success meant to me at that time. It was only then, after going through a series of tribulations, after being homeless, after spending days with no food, no water, after having nobody to go to ask for help, after facing racism again and again, and fighting my way from selling a vacuum cleaner to becoming a top regional manager in a certain company. Up until that time, I did not know that living in a 2-bedroom house with 9 siblings, having a curtain that separates your sister and the boys from the girls, I did not know that there could be such a better life.
Interesting, because this is the thing. Look, coming from poverty, living in like a 2-bedroom house where basically boys and girls are separated by just a curtain, and going from basically Togo, West Africa to South Africa. Now, this is the thing. Coming from where you came from, so going through your sort of journey to South Africa, did each stage feel like you were making a significant step forward, or was it a case of you were like going, okay, if I get to South Africa, there is something different there for me?
Yeah. So I think it's important, there's a lot of preachers, we always talk about the text without a context, it's meaningful, all right? So I want to give you a context a little bit as to what was behind the motivation of me leaving my home country. Okay, so I happened to finish my high school at the age of 15. Okay, and so I was the first in the country. But the country was what it is, and it's still what it is right now. Just to put people in perspective, Togo is a little country that I come from, Togo, T-O-G-O, north to the south, 600 kilometers, and east to the west, 180 kilometers. The population right now is 7.8 million people. And the basic salary until today then is about $50 per month. Don't trust what Google says. Google says something which is not true. It's $50 a month in Togo right now. The people are struggling to live on less than $1 a day, okay? Now, I studied economics, okay, when I finished high school and I tried to go to university. And when I did a comparison between where my country will be 10 years from then and what my life aspirations were, though I grew up in that two bedroom, but those 2 bedrooms never shaped the way I dreamt of my life, the way I saw myself in the future. So when I merged those things together, they didn't come together. So I was like, okay, look, what environment, knowing that a seed is the product of its environment, what environment could I throw myself in that could at least level my playing field in such a way that I could stand any chance to release my potential? Now, I looked at Europe, till today, getting any visa, unless you're a significant person in what you do, getting any visas for any random African is a no-no. I always crack a joke that Europeans don't believe in African tourists, okay? All right. Well, let me not go there. All right. Let me not go there. Let me not go there. Let me just stick to what I'm saying.
I didn't say a word. It's all you right now. That you're just throwing up those 3 points right now. Just loving it. Just like go for it, man.
Okay.
Europe.
I looked at Europe. Europe was not an option. I looked at USA. USA was not an option. So I was like, okay, cool. So where is the nearest African country that I could go to that could at least offer me the opportunities that I am dreaming of? And after a bit of research, I eventually concluded South Africa would be that country. Now, what people don't know, what I don't usually talk about, Muyiwa, is that at that time, for me to save money, I was doing little hustles, selling computers here and there, things that would keep me going. For me to save money then and to actually bring my dream to life, it would take me almost 10 years. So my lovely parents, went and borrowed some money. I took whatever I had, put in my pocket, and with a total of less than $200 in my pocket, I took my backpack, few clothes in it, and faith being the major currency that I held on to, I was like, Mom, the time has come. I am going to change my destiny. I am going to recreate my future. So if you ask me whether that journey is significant, whether I was expecting something, of significance when I moved from Togo to South Africa, the truth is, Muyiwa, I did not know where I was going. I did not know what I was expecting there. No. All I was after was for me to change my life. That's why I talk about faith being my major currency, because if anything I have traded from that 18 months I spent on the road where my family thought I was dead to the time when I got to South Africa to go through all those tribulations, if anything I have traded, it was not my ability to adjust situations. It was not my ability to talk to people. It was not my ability to, to survive crisis again and again. No, but if there's anything I've traded till then, till now, it is simply my faith in myself and my faith in God. That's what it is. It was just a lot of faith till now.
This is the thing, because I have to say, 50, when you say $50 a month, Togo, again, now to get disposable income is not what I would say is a running theme, which you can go with a $50 a month. But to go, okay, South Africa, you go faith was one of your main assets.
Yeah.
But what made you the belief in going, okay, getting up and going, looking around, go, you know what? I want more for my life. I want to achieve more. And you went through your options, Europe, okay, as you commonly say, Europe doesn't believe in African tourists. He's like,
you said it now. I didn't say you said it now.
No. All I got to say is, I'm just repeating what you said. I got to get into context. Please don't try lawyering me in this situation. And basically you looked at the United States, not an option. I'm just when you go South Africa, because I would have thought Morocco, because it's closer to Europe, would offer some sort of advantages as well. Was it a coin flip between the two countries, or was it just, what was the sort of real specific reason for just South Africa? It was yes, this ticks all the boxes.
Well, at that time, right now, South Africa has, taken significant blows, and, the country's economy keeps, drowning. At the time when I got there, South African rand was 7 rand to the dollar. Now it's about 17 rand. Okay, so that should give you an idea of what the inflation is and what the challenges they're having. They've just gone through a major national looting, which amounts to more than $15 billion. Okay, so look, when I made that choice, Muyiwa,
yes,
black on white, back then, South Africa was one of the most prominent growing countries in Africa. I was not interested in going to Morocco and trying to cross to Europe by boat, and then risk losing my life, right? No. I had more faith than that. I believe that, look, South Africa may not necessarily be on a continent or Europe. They may not spend dollars or euros there, but I know that could be the first step of my greatness. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, because like, this is the thing, I think, where a lot of people make a mistake when they have a grand plan. They think they should do, like, they go, I have a plan, I am going to be this. And then they puff up their chest and they take a deep breath and they do this huge quantum leap to try get into like some lofty level to get as close as they can to their goal. But then they fall back and fail, and they try that again, and they try that again and again and again, until the point where they just get overwhelmed and disheartened, and then they quit. With yourself, like taking that sort of small step, and like, this is the thing, okay, from your perspective, then a small step, most probably a very large step from your perspective at that present time, to go to South Africa, but you had a bigger plan in mind from what you're saying, like how, when we're having this conversation and just looking at the sort of history, but you took that one step, and it's a case of, you are, okay, I've taken this step, now I can like prepare myself, get my skills together, and take the next step. So how long did you stay in South Africa, and what did you do in South Africa to sort of like, you know what I mean? Like help raise you up to a next level?
So, I mean, first of all, I mean, you can name any type of job in this world right now, and I'll probably most likely be among the people that will raise their hand having done that. Okay. So for the first good year and a half that I was in South Africa, I had done all kind of things you can ever think about. I mean, at a certain point, I was security guard sleeping on the premises, okay, and guarding those very premises. I was a bricklayer at a certain point, okay. I was a shoemaker at a certain point. Like, I was a waiter at a certain point, okay. Get the hustle on, all right. Do what you've got to do in order to be what you want to be, okay. So, having gone through, you know, I mean, trying this and that, just for the daily bread to go on. I mean, at a certain point, I was sleeping on the shack, of which the rent was $20. Okay, and I always talk about it jokingly, but it's true. In that shack, you'll have mice, you know, like you had this muscle building, okay, these karate mice, okay, that will come and eat your food and then bully you on top, okay?
Oh my Lord.
You know what I'm saying?
It's like you've gone from 9 siblings and being the second youngest and being bullied by most of them to like them being bullied by mice. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So, what we heard about you.
Yeah, the kind of mice that will come eat your flower and then look at you with the corner of the eye and be like, hey, what you gonna do? You know what I'm saying?
Mouse look at you like, what?
Yeah.
It's like going, you come over here, it's your life. It's like, okay, now leave me be. It's like, carry on, $20.
Yeah. So I mean, in that shack, I'll wake up every morning and go to the street corner, you know, put my street hawking stand there. So I was, you know, selling little goodies, you know, biscuit and this and that, and I'll go there every day with the very attitude I'm talking to you right now and do, hi, ma'am, how are you? Hold on a second. I need you to grab one of my biscuits right now because this is going to turn your day into something else. Hi, sir, how are you? Listen to me. If you can buy this apple right now, I'm going to package it for you in a way that your girlfriend is going to fall in love with you again. Okay? And I will go to the street corner with that attitude and speaking to everybody, not knowing who was watching. All right, like this is what I say. Like everything you do it with your mind because you don't know who is watching. So I mean, I didn't know. I mean, what I was doing, all these hustles, I had applied for a sales job somewhere. I had forgotten about it more than a year than that. And when I was a street hawking stand, the gentleman would see me, every day when he was going to work. And one day he said, like, man, listen, I just love your attitude here. Tomorrow, come to Massmart. Okay, I have something for you. Okay, Massmart. What's Massmart? Massmart. So Massmart is a division of Walmart in South Africa. Okay. Now, I'm telling you this right now, but the truth is, at that time, what I could wear to look presentable for the interview, I didn't even have it. So I went to this friend pastor of mine. He jumped into his wardrobe, and then he pulled out a brand new shirt, a brand new trouser, and a brand new shirt, and I wore them as if they were mine. And I went to the interview. The interviewer's name is Isabel Kukumo, blonde woman. I walked into the room. She saw me. She was like, whoa. I'm like, whoa, what? What do you mean by whoa? She's like, hey, you walked in here and I sensed so much confidence from you. I'm like, what are you talking about? You've got the job, just like that. Okay. Yeah. So what's my job? What's my job, Muyiwa? My job was to sell vacuum cleaners. Okay. Now.
Oh, wait. Okay. Vacuum cleaners, huh? Vacuum.
Yeah.
Cleaners. Okay. Like, this is the thing. Now, did you sell SIBO vacuum cleaners?
Okay. Now wait.
Ela vacuum cleaners?
This is
Vax vacuum cleaners? I can play this game with you.
This is the best part, Muyiwa. I mean, these were hydro vacuum cleaners. But you know what? Muyiwa? I think by then I was about the age of 19.
Yeah.
Going towards 20. Muyiwa, until that age, I talk about it in my latest, my new TEDx talk, about 12,000 views going now. I say that until then, I had never seen or touched a vacuum cleaner in my life. All right. And I had to sell that to make a living. Okay. Yeah. So I got given a sales script. I went home. The whole night I studied the sales script, did the research I could, added my own touch to this sales speech, and I came back the following day, doing again the same thing. Hi, ma'am. Hi, sir. How are you? Door to door, in store, doing whatever I can to make these machines fly off the shelf. For 3 years, nonstop, 7 days a week, 10 to 15 hours every single day, making sales. You get what I'm saying? And doing that every single day, at the same spot I was doing my thing, the same spot I was approached by this competing company that, hey, listen, we want you to come play at the top. Okay, we've seen you on the sales floor. We've seen your attitude. We see the magic you can do. We don't want you to sell vacuum cleaners anymore. Come manage our team for us. We're gonna give you a team of 60 people. You're gonna have a car allowance. You're gonna have this and this and that. Come play with the big boys. And I went playing with the big boys. 6 months after that, they said, look, you're doing too great. Another level again. So that is basically how I was able to go from a 2-bedroom house, Muyiwa, to that stage. Okay, this what I'm doing right now is a whole different story.
No, I have to ask because look, okay, with borrowed clothes, walking into the interview with like a presence of confidence, which basically, okay, yeah, you've got the job. Selling vacuum cleaners, which, okay, from what you're saying here, you had no idea what a vacuum cleaner was. You're going, right. So what would you say would be one of the biggest sort of lessons you learned, like the big takeaway from that sort of period before you got promoted and everything like this? What would you say?
All right. Yeah, the lessons. Okay. I mean, it's just so many lessons, but I'll try to give you the top 3 or the top 4. Okay.
Okay.
So the first one, Muyiwa, is every opportunity is an opportunity. Do you get what I'm saying?
Oh,
never take for granted any type of opportunity. What we may see today as a baobab tree was once a seed. Okay, so whatever opportunity you get given, do it with all your might. Throw yourself at it. Okay, I mean, I love one of the Bible verses in the book of Ecclesiastes that says that whatever your hands find to do, do it with all your might, because where you're going, there'll be nothing for you to do there, right? So that's the first thing. I realized that, look, It may be sales machine. I mean, it's be machines that I have to sell, okay, that I don't even know anything about, but it is an opportunity. What I'm going to do about it is totally up to me. Mm-hmm. And it is in that opportunity that another one came, okay? Number one. Number two, understand that the real secret, okay, like one of the writers says, that the secret of success is to be prepared when the opportunity comes, or when you're not ready, when the opportunity does come, grab the opportunity and prepare yourself as you are going along. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by that, Muyiwa? I will sell vacuum cleaners during the day, and at night I will go and take leadership classes and take business management classes. Okay, so that means my sleeping hours for almost 3 years, it was just about 3 hours a night. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? You gotta get the grind on, okay? And that's gonna take me to my lesson number 3, is that you said something earlier that people don't want to take, don't want to do things one step at a time to get to where you want to be. When you were saying that, it reminded me of a quote that people underestimate what they could do in 5 years and overestimate what they can do in 1 year. Right? So my next lesson is that whatever it is that you're doing, you've got to understand that there is an opportunity to do it on a bigger scale, right? Now, if you are able to tap into that bigger scale or not is entirely up to you. Like this writer says, that whether you say that you are wrong, or whether you say that you are right, or whether you say you can or cannot, both people are right. It's all in their perspective. And my perspective of things was always that it doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter whether they are looking for one person out of 1 million people. If I get that, then it's going to be me. If there is only one chance in 1 million for me to change my life, then that chance is going to be mine. Do you get what I'm saying? So these are some major lessons that have used basically to shape my life as to what it is right now.
This is the whole thing. Like there are many a person which will listen to this and go, "Oh, you sold vacuum cleaners 7 days a week. Not my thing." And like they'll like focus on that, but they like the whole thing is they'll overlook the fact that you went, okay, you know what, I am selling vacuum cleaners, but like the whole thing is I still need to work on my skill set to improve myself. I still need to keep pushing forward. So you went, okay, leadership, management, courses, and like you go, okay, right. Again and again and again. I think it's a case of there are too many people who think, okay, doing my 9 to 5 and working on that sort of self-development, that building that sort of skill set. That's down to my work. They should be training me. They should really sort of be the ones what invest in me. When ultimately, there are so many times when you look at people where, look, if you told someone like, oh yeah, there's a person over there with a business idea, they're like, oh, I'll invest in them. Oh, there's a person who's like going, like doing this or doing that. Oh, I'll give them my time. I'll give them my energy. But they don't look in the mirror and they don't look at themselves and go, you know what? Why don't I make a bet on myself? Why don't I make that investment in myself to see how far I can go and push myself to that next level? And it must, like, I sometimes look upon it with a little bit of like, come on, people. Have a little bit of faith in yourself. Come on, people. Like, believe in yourself. Come on, people.
Yeah.
Why not? Sometimes I get frustrated by it. I don't know if you might be different with that, but sometimes it just frustrates me when I see that going on with people, you know?
Yeah, I totally get it. That frustration is perfectly normal. Perfectly normal.
Yeah. So this is the thing. You've like gone from that, you've like done your leadership, you've done your business management, you've been promoted, running a team of 60 people. Now, okay, being a person of one, like going around by yourself is one thing. Now, being a leader of 60 people, now, even with like the training courses and everything like this, like what was something you believed about leadership from the theory, and what was something you learned in the first 3 days from the practical?
Yeah. When you are, I mean, I speak about 60 people, but like I was saying before that, I mean, I got even, the opportunity to lead, a lot more people. I mean, peak time, I was leading, about 250, 300 people. Yeah, in big roles. But if you ask me, what was the first thing? And here's what I want to say quickly, okay, that, I mean, what we see in the theory and what happens in practice is two totally different things. Okay? And this is why we have Leadership.university, so that we can teach the young generation the skills they need to succeed in real life. Okay? Because when you go in real life, nobody's going to ask you to solve mathematical problems. Okay? People want to see your confidence. People want to see how can you adjust situations. People want to see, can you work in a team? Okay. So what was the things that I learned? The first 3 days when I got into this role. Now, I would say this, that I was lucky enough to have grown up in a home with so many people. I was lucky enough to have been blessed. Listen to my words carefully, okay, because they say everything, all right? I have been lucky enough to have been blessed by life with so many tribulations before getting that role. Do you get what I'm saying? I'm not calling them problems, but I'm calling them blessings. Okay, say the blessing is when you are challenged to be what you want to be. Okay, so having gone through all these things already, it's a lot of story about meeting people, working with people, being able to talk your way through, being able to negotiate, right? Being able to give people what they want so that they can give you what you want. All right, that Zig Ziglar said that right there, that when you give people what they want, they give you what you want. And that's the one lesson that I had to apply in my first week of leadership, so that within that month already, by the time that the other colleagues that were hired, which will take them 6 months to make an impact, from month one already, I was already making sure that I was the first leader in the company month in, month out. How? I was able to apply that very lessons of Zig Ziglar, that when you give people what they want, they give you what you want. So all I had to do is to talk to my staff. Hey, how you doing? How long be working here? Do you love what you do? Oh, I don't love what I do. Why? Tell me. Oh, my boss has been this, has been that. Oh, the company doesn't give me this, give me that. All right, cool. Listen, if we can leverage the level field, okay? If I can come halfway to what you want, would you give me this? Yeah, definitely. That's it. When you give people what they want, when you want, they'll give you what you want. There's no better lesson than that.
Yeah, because this is the thing, like trials and tribulations, like blessings, as you put them. Like the whole thing is, I think it always comes down to this. There are like in life, there are like points of resistance we all go through on a day-to-day basis. We have a number of choices, but it mostly comes down to this. Do we lean into it and take on those sort of times of hardship, trouble, resistance? Or do we sit back in the realm of comfort? Sort of like, yes, I don't need to deal with that. I'm comfortable at this level. It's quite clear you strike me as a person. You tend to lean into the realm of discomfort hard. And I think it's made you somewhat better for it. I don't know. You tell me, am I wrong in saying this or am I right?
I mean, I think you are putting it quite nice and lightly as I lean in it. I think leaning it would not be the right word. Actually swimming it. Yeah, exactly, right? Yeah, I mean, leaning in it means there's still like in a good half of yourself that is out of it. No, I literally jump in it because I understand that it's a piece of coal that became diamond under pressure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So this is the thing, coal, a piece of coal becoming a diamond under pressure. Yes. But the whole thing is, did you always have that sort of mindset? Because look, you mentioned Zig Ziglar, and this is the thing. I'm sure there's Tony Robbins, which are come up in some of your studies as well as other sort of like, well, Les Brown or like other motivational speakers and basically epic salespeople who've done this. Was it a case of you learned this, or it's just been part of your DNA?
Yeah, very good question, Muiwa. So first thing, this is, you know, if any young person listening to this right now, take a pen and a paper and note this down, that whenever you're looking for a job, before you go look for a job, make sure that you find what your talent is, what your gift, what your unique ability is, and then find the job that can enable you to sharpen and polish that gift. Okay. So I learned, I mean, I was doing a webinar, you know, at the University of Utrecht, you know, for a bunch of students in networking. And I was telling them that, look, I learned how to sell before I learned how to ride a bicycle. Okay. Did you get what I'm saying? So,
okay. I can see 2-year-old yourself. Like, Steven, what are you doing? Well, I'd like to talk to you about this opportunity to buy this.
Well, you are my mom had a stall in the market. That's what she did for a living. So we had to help her to put all the things together. And while in the process of helping, somebody's gonna come, and you better make sure the person does not live with their money. Okay? You gotta talk them into buying something. So I learned indeed how to sell before, you know, riding a bicycle. So I did notice that, you know, at a good part of my life, I had an ability to speak to people. All right. Now the thing is, again, it's about exposure. I did not know until a very good part of my life, I didn't know that people spoke for a living. Okay. Today I get paid to speak, but I did not know that people did that for a living at all. But I was very much aware of my ability to speak to people and inspire them and motivate them. So when I got that sales job, I was like, oh, heck, this could be a great opportunity. And I threw myself at it like nobody's business. I remember when the crisis would go on in the company and our sales would drop, I would tell, you know, my bosses that, listen, guys, let's bring all the salespeople together in one main hall, and I want to talk to them. You know, and I will talk to them, I'll get them excited, and they'll get, you know, they'll be like, wow, yeah, and then our sales will skyrocket. Okay. So the thing that I'm doing right now, first of all, Muyiwa, I speak to inspire people so that they aspire in order for them not to expire in their dreams and goals. Okay. So other people speak to sell. I don't speak to sell. I speak in response to my life calling, to my life purpose, which is to use my voice to inspire others, to make them believe that if I, a boy from Togo, Togo, 2-bedroom house with 9 siblings, could go from there and having written 4 books thus far, traveling the world, sharing his story, and still going for better height, if I could do that, I don't understand why you cannot pick up your cross and walk with it. Do you get what I'm saying? So that is my message. That is what I stand for at the first place. Okay. So what I'm trying to tell you is that when I do this as a full expression of my unique gift, as my unique God-given gift, as my unique talent, right? But the beautiful thing about expressing or living your talent is, if you do it well, somebody will be ready to pay you for it.
No, like, this is the thing. Yeah, I hear you. Hey, look, this is the thing. Like, damn, if this was a Sunday, give you a pulpit and you'll be preaching. I like big time. No, this is the thing. Like, your energy levels, your spirit, your passion for what you do is quite clear and evident to me, as I can see as we speak across this magic device called the internet, down a magic program called Zoom. Not a sponsor, give me money. No, that's another story. But yeah, but like, the whole thing is like, if someone came up to you and, look, like, I get it, you came from Togo, you fought your way through, but like, this is the thing, I'm not you.
Yeah.
How do I get started?
Yeah.
What would you say to that person?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely, definitely. You know, um, I just love your questions, man. I think your audience is blessed to have you, because you just have this unique ability to ask the right questions, because the right questions bring about the right answers. That's the truth. Okay.
Hey, look, man, look, this is the whole thing. I see you sitting here talking away. It's like, look, you've got a wealth of knowledge. And I think, yeah, sharing it is the positive thing. And
Yeah.
basically, yeah, helping people get started is it's one of the most important things
Yeah.
because hey, the amount of times you see hopes, dreams, ambitions die on the vine because someone doesn't actually just start,
Yeah.
it's a tragic thing
Yeah.
on a day-to-day basis. And like, look, I think you might be able to inspire
Yeah.
some people to get started.
Yeah, definitely. Dr. Miles Monroe says that, he says that the greatest or the richest place on earth is not the uranium mines of South Africa, is not the diamond mines of Congo, or is not the oil fields of United Emirates Arabs, but it is the cemetery. It's the place where you find dreams that were never fulfilled, potential that died before they were even given birth to, that ideas that were never ever given an attempt. That it is the richest place on earth, that if we could mine the cemetery, that we will come up with some of the best innovations ever. So yes, definitely, when you're right when you're saying that a lot of dreams, die before they could come to life. Now, you could say or be listening to me right now and saying that, okay, when I listen to you, you've got this thing about you, this passion about you, this travel about you, but I'm not you. Where do I start? Okay, now listen to me carefully. Listen to this, okay? If you have a pen and paper, take this down. You don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started in order to be great. Do you get what I'm saying? Now, the reason usually why people think this is because people compare themselves to others, okay? We never have two goalkeepers, okay, in a one match, okay, for a particular team. We have one, okay, and we have different people playing different roles within one team, and together they are able to achieve the team's goal, which is to win the match, okay? So I'm saying that you are not me and I'm not you, but there is a particular role that you play that regardless of how hard I try, I cannot play. I talk about this in my book, Be Transformed, How to Live Free of Fear, Self-Doubt, and Low Self-Esteem. I talk about how my great-grandfather that died at the age of 121 years old shared with me when I was, I think, just about my 7 or 10-year-olds. He shared with me that, hey, son, listen, nature, as you look at it, nature is a beautiful thing because in it, you have everything playing its role, but everything plays its role. Now, listen to me carefully, Moyua. He says that everything plays its role within the role of the other thing, which together forms nature. All right. What am I saying by this? What am I saying by this? Today, I'm standing here right now, making an effort to inspire you so that you could find your greatness. But when you indeed start stepping into your greatness, guess what's going to happen? 100 of other people will benefit from it. Today, Muyiwa has a podcast, has a platform that can bring about great people to share their wisdom and their stories. Why? Muyiwa is doing this to serve another 100 people. Now, if this is the path of Muyiwa to express his greatness, then guess what? A lot of 100,000 other people are benefiting from it. Okay? But the way Muyiwa will go on the mic and lift up the mic with his energy, okay, and lift up the mood of people, only one out of, 100 people could do that, okay? The way a person can actually compose, the way Mozart composed his music in a way that he got stuck on the lips of the music generations to come, the way Martin Luther King stood on that altar and spoke that I have a dream. I'm telling you something, there has been nobody in history that has done that as great as Martin Luther King has done. What I'm saying to you, Muyiwa, is that we don't have to compare ourselves to nobody. I am not Muyiwa. Muyiwa is not me. If you're listening to me right now, I am not you. You are not me. The things that you are able to do, there's the reason why even twins, even twins, okay, even identical twins, there is something different about identical twins if you find out. You get what I'm saying? So I mean, that's a practical, real, true example. If identical twins still can be different, what about you and I that don't come from the same womb? So I guess it's about being able to identify what you are unique at, what your passion is, and holding on tight to that, and just take what I call the OSAT, one step at the time. Just take one step at the time. Find the right people around you. Tell me who you are with, and I will tell you who you will become. Surround yourself with the right people. The people that I always say is that surround yourself with the people that even when you are a seed, they see you as a forest. Not the people that when you're a seed, they are praying all day that you don't come out from the ground. Find yourself those people and apply yourself to learning skills. Again, the race does not belong to the swift. No, this is a marathon, not a race. I remember when I started this speaking and coaching career about 5 years going now. I mean, I had just everything I had worked for, becoming a senior manager, going to start my own company. I mean, everything has just gone down the drain. When you are everything, like literally, my girlfriend went with it too. And I was back to zero, back exactly to where I started. And when I was asking myself this question, okay, so what am I gonna do now? What's next for me? I mean, here I am. I've hustled so many years for all these things. Now I don't have them anymore. Okay, I'm back to zero. Life has taken a different turn for me now. What am I going to do? and that's when I decided to leave South Africa for Asia. And I met this guy that he was also a speaker, and we were just having coffee. And he said, Steve, did you say that you want to be a speaker? I'm like, yeah. And then he stood from his chair, he shook my hand, he said, listen, son, whatever you do, understand that the race does not belong to the swift. It belongs to those that are resilient. Keep going. Whatever happens, keep going. There's light at the end of the tunnel. As long as you start, that is what matters. Okay, so if you ask me how, I will tell you this, just start. Okay, just start and keep going one step at the time. Oh, come on, you getting me too excited, okay? Are you getting too excited? I'm fired up, all right?
Oh, well, hey, what can I say? I'm glad you're enjoying yourself. I'm glad. Like, it makes me very happy to hear this, because like, this is the thing. Like, I loved what you said there. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not a race. It's like, you know what I mean? It's resilience. It's a marathon, to say the least. People who will be victorious are not the ones who go sprinting out of the blocks. But like, this is the thing. Yeah, I agree with you. It is it's a journey rather than just a mere race. But like, the whole thing is like, and this is what I often see, what happens with people on a day-to-day basis. Like, okay, day one, pow. Oh, yes, I'm ready. It's time to go. I'm motivated. Fuck yeah, come on, let's storm that beach. Let's get there. Okay, day 3. Yeah, I'm ready. I'm all good. Day 30. Things haven't really been going my way. And like, yeah, it's like, day 60. Day 100. Now, there is a difference, a clear difference for me, like motivation and discipline. Like, some people think motivation's more important than discipline. But like, the whole thing, the way I see it, and like you, like, please give me your insight, because like, I might be seeing this wrong.
Yeah.
You need the motivation, the spark to kick that off.
Yeah.
The discipline is the fan, what keeps the fire going.
Yeah.
That's how I see it.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. I mean, I think that motivation, it's definitely needed. I mean, I think I think at whatever stage, okay, of your journey, motivation is always needed. Okay. But discipline is just what enables you to make that which you are doing become a habit. Okay. There's a writer that said that we are not controlled. I mean, we don't decide of our future. We decide of our habit, and our habit decide of our future. You get what I'm saying? And that's why I always tell, a lot of my mentees that whatever it is that you are doing, just make sure that you put enough discipline into it, until the time that it becomes a habit. Because once it becomes a habit, it becomes something that you want to do. The habit is a second nature, like how French people say. So in order for you to take, an idea from concept to realization, to making it becoming a habit, you just need to create that consistency. And that's when we talk about the discipline, right? But then you need that motivation to be able to get up from the bed in the morning and say, all right, look, this morning, I don't feel like pushing up. Okay, I don't want to push up. But you know what? I'm motivated. I want to push up anyhow. Okay, and then discipline is what's going to make you wake up day 2, and then day 3, and then day 4, until you can become like me, that for the past 10 years, every morning without fail, I do 150 push-ups and 70 sit-ups. Do you get what I'm saying? So, so both hand in hand, they're coming very, very handy. I think they work together.
I hear you. And yes, the power of habits. Very true. The great Vince Lombardi, the Super Bowl trophy, which is named after him. Okay, he goes, yes, losing is a habit.
Yeah.
He also goes, winning is a habit.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is, I think people don't realize the sort of, when it comes to building a new habit over a bad habit, bad habits are easy to slide into. Yes. And you don't realize how long you've been doing this bad habit until one day it's either you look at yourself and go, oh, damn, I look a little bit chunky, or, oh, I'm not feeling as well as I am, or, oh, I'm not where I want to be in life.
Yeah.
But trying to build that good habit takes a lot of hard work. And I think sometimes people get fooled or tricked by thinking it will be easy, because if you can fall into a bad habit, falling into a good habit takes a little bit more,
Definitely. Yeah. It takes a whole lot more to let go of a bad habit, than embracing a good one. That's just the balance of life.
Yeah. So tell me, answer me this. Okay, you seem to be, how can I say, you seem to be the very paragon of someone who has gone into diving into the world of discomfort, swimming in that ocean. The father, the king stone of good habits.
Yeah.
What was a bad habit you had to overcome?
The bad habit I had to overcome.
Yeah.
That's a very good question. So, I mean, allow me to answer your question through a story. Yeah.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Let me get some popcorn. One moment.
No, popcorn won't do. We need to make a fire, get some drums, and get the African fabrics. Then we get going with the story time.
I can't do that. I'm in the middle of the UK. They won't let that go. It's like, come on now. It's like, what? It's like, yeah, officer. Yeah. Just hey, it's Steven's fault. It's like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, talking about bad habits, right? So now I need people listening to this, to pay attention very, very carefully. Okay. Now, as you said, I am very comfortable with discomfort. Okay. Again, I'm repeating this, that people need to pay attention to this, because if you don't pay attention, you're gonna lose me. Okay, it's very complex, something I'm going to explain. but also very important that it happens in the life of many people. Okay, so let me repeat again. As Muya has said just now, I love discomfort. Okay, and I'm able to thrive within very discomfort and very uncomfortable situations. Okay, but here's the thing. All right, in the process of continuously overcoming tribulations, there was a point in my life where I started, unconsciously making discomfort the norm of my life. All right? You got that? Let me explain further. Okay. So because I was becoming very good at getting myself out of difficult situations, and subconsciously, there's this thing that started happening as even when the situation is not meant to be uncomfortable, my unconscious side will turn it into uncomfortable. Do you get what I'm saying? So that I could try from it. All right, and get a high from it and get a hit from it, and then tap myself in the back and be like, oh, okay, yeah, I did it again. Do you get what I'm saying? All right. Now, why am I saying this? I'm saying this because the very same thing also happens in relationships, where we get used to the fact that because the past 5 partners we've had abuse us emotionally or physically, we start thinking that, oh, being abused in a relationship is the norm. Okay, so if you ask me what bad habits had I had to fight, I had to fight within me the bad habit of understanding that not everything has to be difficult.
Yeah, I think that's something a lot of people, I think it's a thing where a lot of people do get in their own way. Because
exactly.
In the case of, it's like, right, there's in the equation of life, there is one constant in your life, and that is yourself. Yes. And quite often, if you find yourself tripping up time and time again over the same hurdle, it's not the people you encounter. It's like you got to look in the mirror and go, hey, is it me? Is that exactly. So yeah, it like for you to like go, yeah, I'm very comfortable in being in that realm of discomfort, and like going, right, then even if it was an easy path to victory, you'll find a way to sabotage it to make it a little bit harder for yourself. So you I've overcome something where someone like stand on the outside looking at this, we're like going, Steven, why are you being an idiot? Stop.
Exactly.
It's like, hey, I get you. So how did you become like self-aware of this to like go, okay, I need to put this down, and like, yeah, sometimes victory, if you've done enough preparation, does come easy.
Yeah. How I became aware of that, it was taught to me the hard way. The first one was right before I quit my corporate job, and the second one was when I was running my own import-export business. So what had happened for me to leave my corporate job? I mean, I was working with employers that really believed in me. I mean, they would pay like, very luxurious holidays for me because of the work I put in the company. And I had some unbelievable amount of privileges in the company that no other employee in my position had. Okay. But because I was becoming very comfortable in the situation, and I only realized that, about 2 or 3 years later after I had left that, okay, because I had noticed the pattern, okay, also being aware of your life, being able to discern patterns and then drawing conclusion from it also help you, to definitely make the right decisions. So I mean, being in a job like that, I mean, I wanted the next challenge because I had reached the top of the top of growth in the company, and I mean, even though my employers believed in me and so on and so forth. I just wake up one morning, I'm like, guys, listen, this is not gonna work for me anymore. I think I'm gonna go. All right, I think I'm gonna go. They said, no, but listen, we understand that you wanna go, but look, give us time. Okay, we want to prepare, or maybe we might even have a better offer for you. We have this and that for you. I was like, nah, like this is just not good for me enough. Okay, I mean, we had to sit down and spoke about it, over times and times again. I was like, no, this is just not good for me. I am going. All right, going for the sake of more discomfort. All right, yeah, okay. Then I went. Started the company, everything was going well within the first year. I held all the sales strategies, all the business concept and everything until, this company was doing very well within our first year. We were already cracking more than $250,000, in revenue. Mm-hmm. Listen, again, in 1 year in business, I for the sake again of searching for discomfort, I was like, okay, if we have this much of growth, then we can do bigger things. All right. Then I wanted to take a bigger risk. Mm-hmm. Okay. And unfortunately, I didn't have a very good co-founder that also decided to do some other things with the capital. And all of that came down crushing. All right. So and then it also happened when you were in also my relationships too, where I will have a very stable something with a girl, and then I'll be like, nah, this is not too adventurous enough, and then the next thing. So I started seeing the patterns. I'm like, whoa, hang on a second, okay? Like, am I not being my own way here? All right. So if you ask me, how did I step into that level of awareness? I think being able to be aware very much in life. I love the quote, the African proverb that says that the enemies outside can do us no harm if there are no enemies within. Mm-hmm. Okay, and the enemies within are nothing more but the demons in ourselves. All right. So I was able to look at all these little failures in my life and then identify what is the common denominator to this. Like, oh, heck, hold on a second. It's this thing of me wanting to go all the time for even what is meant to be comfortable, what is meant to be easy, and finding a way to turn it into something, uncomfortable, because I've just become an expert of surviving the uncomfortable. All right. So that is how, I was able to come to that level of discernment and being able to unwire that, unprogram that, and then, go ahead with a new program.
Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. No, because that type of situation sometimes is, you see people get trapped in some type of feedback loop where they keep doing it again and again and again. And it sometimes takes a huge shock, or sort of like a real epiphanal moment to have that sort of self-realization, which is not an easy thing to do. But it's like, hey, I'm talking to you, I think, not doing the easy thing. You do like doing that, but that's another story. Hey, but this is the thing. I am curious because look, you leadership drive, following one's destiny, and going from $200 to $250,000, and in a healthy space of time. Now, this is the thing with regards to your leadership and stuff like this. What do you, when you look around at the sort of next generation coming up, even with people, not even necessarily just the next generation, but leadership in society as a whole? I think we're going through a very interesting time in history where leadership, I think it's in a confusing place. Indeed. For the world, because it's not depending where you are, it's not clear what a leader is anymore. How do you see it, and how do you think it can be? Does it need to be repaired, or is it okay, or is it in a very bad place?
I think before we even talk about repairing or we even talk about, whether it's in a good status or not, I think it's very important that I share with people that are listening, what is, my understanding of what leadership is. Okay? And this understanding, it was inspired to me by my own life experiences and having been great life student of Dr. Miles Monroe. And the leadership, okay, is defined as the capacity to influence the thoughts and emotions of oneself and others, okay, through inspiration that is ignited by a purpose, motivated by passion, generated by a vision, and produced by a conviction. You got that? Let me rewind, okay? All right, okay. So I'm saying, so the leadership is the capacity to influence the thoughts and emotions of oneself and others through inspiration, ignited by a purpose, motivated by a passion, generated by a conviction, and produced by a vision. All right. So this definition on its own, all right, this definition is just enough to, to offer somebody a PhD when it comes to leadership. Okay. Why am I saying that? Because it englobes all the aspects of great leadership. Okay, we're talking about influence. We're talking about thoughts and emotions of oneself, being able to discover your own leadership spirit before you say that you want to inspire others to become their own leader. We're talking about the pillars of leadership. We're talking about purpose. We're talking about passion. We're talking about motivation. We're talking about vision. We're talking about conviction. Do you get what I'm saying? So when we talk about leadership within nowadays world, as a matter of fact, let me just put this out there, that when it comes to the leadership spirit, it hasn't changed 2,000 years ago, it hasn't changed now, and it's not going to change 15,000 years from now. All right. Now, how it is applied, the shape and form that it takes, yes, it can change because of this evolution of the society. But the core of the leadership as it is right now, that in order for us to call ourselves leaders of anybody at all, we first need to be able to understand that we have to be leaders of our own self. Okay, we have to be able to understand that a leader is not out there to lead projects or tasks, but a leader is out there to inspire others to be more, live more, dream more, become more. You get what I'm saying? So to this generation that is coming, or even to my generation right now, I will say this, okay? I will say this, that, look, first of all, there's a lot of information out there. Okay, I mean, I was in a conversation with a journalist yesterday, and I made this statement, and she was like, what you talking about? I was like, listen, okay, nowadays we're in a world right now where we don't know anymore what is right from what is wrong. Okay, we are now in a world where we have ideologies like there's no truth, there's no false, there's no right, there's no wrong, everything is just is. Okay, I don't believe in that. There is definitely a level of truth. There's definitely a level of false in everything you do. If there was no truth, there was no right, then we wouldn't have the left from the right at the first place. Then this should have been just one arm. Okay, but you know what? Like you say, story for another day. Okay, let me just continue with my leadership talk. So I'm saying that we've got to come to the realization and understand that we have to embrace these pillars of leadership, which is understanding that as a leader, we've got to have a purpose. Now, listen to my words. When I'm talking about purpose, I'm not talking about a target. No, a target, it's something you achieve in the process of accomplishment of a particular task. A purpose is much bigger than that. Okay, the purpose of Apple is not to make computers. Okay, the purpose of Apple is to create a world in which those that believe that they are unique can be crazy enough to express their uniqueness. Mm-hmm. Do you get what I'm saying? So us being clear onto what our life purpose is, And then understanding the vision that comes from that life purpose, and then putting in place a set of action and plan motivated by our passion, our calling to fulfill that life purpose. And if everybody could embrace that path, then we talk about each and everyone stepping into their own eras of leadership. And then we can have people that can step into position to influence the thought and emotion of those people to align, to follow their life purpose. And together we play a role in the bigger circle of things. I don't know if I'm making sense to you. I've dropped a lot of stuff there.
Well, like, this is the thing, you emphasize purpose, and when you emphasize purpose, it, like, for me, it's like you are like, I might be wrong, but you're alluding to there is maybe like a lack of purpose on individual people's lives, or greater still, there might be a lack of purpose in society as a whole, as you say, like, because no left, no right, no up, no down. Like, it's a case of, many of the sort of, okay, you could say old tenets of the past where this is your North Star. And that would sort of add to a greater purpose, has kind of now gone in some parts of today's society. And trying to build on that and trying to sort of like get that sort of purpose, because it's one of those things, it's either you either gain purpose from a family unit, you either gain purpose from a school, you gain purpose from like the government or a business. But it's one of those things where I don't think, with regards to some, like in the educational system, there is a sort of clear not sort of one direction purpose, but like saying, do this, and this can add to your purpose. It's a case of study this, work to the test, but seeking out what growth or what glory might live within you on that greater level. It's not really sort of emphasized like that. Study to the test, hit those marks, so we can make sure we can hit our certain amount of funding because you've passed this test. And that is it. Leaving it kind of dead to the wind.
Totally. But here's the thing, when you are, I think what is the reality, what is the truth, and I'm saying this very confidently, very proudly, an undeniable truth is that first of all, let me say this, okay? I've met hundreds and thousands of young people traveling across Southeast Asia, searching for, what they so-called happiness, okay? As if happiness was a life purpose. Happiness is not a life purpose. Happiness I say that happiness is a state of mind. It's not a life purpose. And when you're talking about purpose is the intent of creation of a thing. The purpose of shoes is to protect our feet. And that will never change. Whether we buy shoes of $5,000 or $10,000, it will never change. But the vision of a shoe, the form at which the creator of the shoe changes the form, the vision of it, that can change. But the purpose of shoes will forever be the same. All right. So I'm saying that, look, finding and identifying, being able to find that life purpose is the only thing that will close that void. Doesn't matter how much of a school we go to, doesn't matter how much PhDs or professorate degrees we get. There's a reason why I've met people that have spent 15 years in school, hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, but left that, drop all of that, and going back to becoming artists, and they've never been happy like ever in their lives. All right. There's a reason why we've seen radio shows. Okay. I mean, let me talk about Vladimir Zelensky, a practical example. Okay. All right. Let me talk about Vladimir Zelensky, okay, the president of Ukraine. That was once a comedian on stage at which Putin even laughed for. I don't know how to say that. But look at this guy right now leading a country that is at war. Right? Like this is where, like, I'm sure he could tell right now that, you know what, man, this is what I was born for. This is my life purpose. Okay. I'm not leaving this job. This is my thing. Do you get what I'm saying? So I'm saying that when we find our life purpose, I mean, we can study at school, we can get the marks, we can get that funding, but it's only until we are able to build a business, a company, be in a career, or be in a relationship that is aligned with our life purpose. Only then we are able to fill that void in us. Only then we are able to wake up in the morning, stretch, look at the sun, and thank God for the day that He has made.
Mm. I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah.
And like this is the thing. I do agree with you.
Yeah.
Like the whole thing, like when you say that, and like the whole thing is with regards to like for people to find their purpose, to
Yeah.
find where they belong in the world.
Yeah.
I think it's a case of we live in a world, we live in a time where we're very lucky, like depending where you are in the world. Look, I'm in the UK, you're in the Netherlands at this present time. Look, if I wanted to get something to eat, I can go to the fridge, or like I can go to the supermarket, or if I'm being ultra lazy and like, yeah, I don't want to cook, I could call someone up and they'll bring me food. I don't need to hunt it, I don't need to grow it, I don't need to gather it. None of that things.
Yeah.
But because we live in this world, which is a lot easier, don't get me wrong, there are many places in the world. Yeah.
I think what you're talking about is instant gratification.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Perfect. Instant gratification. There is not the sort of emphasis where, putting yourself into that place of discomfort to sort of find out how you could, like, how you are under like sort of pressure, how you can grow, what type of person you can develop into. Like it's a very, like there's one of the things I say often, people only get to know themselves around about 40% of who they truly are. Is when you start pushing yourself, when you put yourself in these places like discomfort, that's when you start to find out more. The day you meet someone who goes, I know myself 100%, then like those are the type of people you kind of go, okay, you've done some dark stuff most probably in your time, or you've come close to it. You stay over there. I'm going to keep my eye on you. But so many people are not doing that these days, because that would naturally, like if you went back, say in this country, 100 years, it would be a much tougher existence. 200 years, a much tougher existence. So they had a better idea of who they were because they've gone through a gauntlet of emotions. And look, I would say with regards to where you started from in Togo, like, look, $50, like I was about to say $50 a day ain't easy, but like, but it's $50 a month, like, which go, just a little bit over $1, like, you know what I mean? A month, like a day, you go, well, so like, they're very much naturally, there are going to be a number of people that go, I've got an idea of, I know what the struggle is. And like, I've put myself through this, and they know themselves a lot better than say people in the West, as they say, in quote unquote developed nations. Like you coming from both worlds, like was it easier to like, did you learn a lot more about yourself when you came from Togo, or have you learned a lot more about yourself now you're here in like basically in Holland, in a country which is most probably, I don't know, you know better than I, maybe infinitely more comfortable than where you like were like born and raised?
Yeah. I mean, there's a writer that says that the actual day, the real day that his journey started, it wasn't when he was born, it wasn't when he was graduated, it wasn't when he was married, but it was the day when he met himself. Right. Yeah. So I mean, when I met myself, it wasn't when I moved to Europe or anything. Okay. When I met myself, I will say, my journey of meeting myself started the day I made the decision, the first decision that, you know what, I'm going to go and change my destiny, whatever it takes. Do you get what I'm saying? Because it's only a human being with conviction that can make such a decision, and you don't make those kind of decisions and keep going. All right. I mean, it's one thing to make a decision, but like what happens after determines the outcome of the decision. All right. You can make a decision right now, but I mean, after the first challenge, I mean, after going through the first or second country, those $200 were already finished. All right. I mean, a lot of people that I was on that journey with, a lot of them have gone back home. I mean, even when I was in South Africa, a lot of people that I was in the house with, a lot of them was like, you know what? Nope, this is not for me. It's too much for me. I'm going back home. I'm done. All right. But sticking to that decision solely come from a place of having met yourself and believing. Okay, faith is defined as the ability to believe in things that don't exist as yet. All right. So I say that faith in oneself, in oneself is the ability to believe in yourself, which is in the future that you have not had the chance to see as yet. Do you get what I'm saying? So, so meeting yourself and having that faith in that which you have not experienced as yet, that is what gives you, that self-discovery, that ability to take a stand and keep going. Do you get me? So, and you know what? That process of meeting yourself, it never stops, okay? Because it perpetuates, it's perpetual. The more you grow, the more you gotta learn about yourself. I mean, right now I have a vision of raising $500,000 and building a show. Okay. I mean, I love stages. I've done, a couple of talks on stages here and there, and I love being on stage. I have this vision of raising $500,000 and building a motivational show. Okay.
Like, Steven, I can't see you ever being on stage. It's like, nah.
You know what I'm saying? So the one of me, okay, I don't know if this is the part where I have to let Shakespeare down a little bit, okay? Shakespeare, don't blame me. I'm not born speaking your language, all right? Listen, the one of me that I have to become in order to bring about this motivational show is another level of me. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm saying that there is a foundational process into knowing yourself. Okay. Now you build up on that progressively as you go, as you progress towards the accomplishment or the realization of your worthy ideal. That Earl Nightingale said that.
Interesting. Now,
yeah.
I have to ask, this will be my final question. Now, this is the thing.
Yeah.
Like, your journey in life, where, like, you mentioned just a show, like 500,000 and the show, where do you want your journey to go? Is it from here for let's say by 2025, what would you like that journey to be?
2025, this. Okay, so when you were I was in this interview with Boris, he's from the US, and I was telling this gentleman that, listen, man, you know what? My actual dream, is to become president of Togo, or if not that, I know that, I'm born to lead people, to inspire people. If not that, then I want to make sure that, in 20, 30 years from now, I would have impacted or inspired at least 150 million people. And the gentleman is like, hey, listen, take that number, multiply it by 5. You are dreaming too small. Okay. So I want to speak right now, okay, echoing the words of this gentleman, that if you ask me in 2025, where I want to be right now, in 2025, at this very time, that show that I'm talking to you about, it should have been up and running and would have had more than 3 million views, more than 3 million viewers, okay, on it. And I'm talking of viewers and subscribers if it's on YouTube or whatever platform it is, but there has to be more than 3 million people around the world. Why? Because between now and 21 years from now, I want to have impacted at least 750 million lives on the face of this earth, whether I be it in Africa or whether I be it in America, whether I be it in Europe. And by the way, I'm already in that process. Okay, I've already done, a couple of hundreds of thousands in that process. So it just keeps going. Let's keep going.
Why 750 million? Like you could have done an even billion if you wanted, but why 750?
No, I mean, like I said, when I was talking about this, I'm echoing the words of this gentleman I was the interviewer. So I think putting a number to a goal, okay, I think it always helps in bringing clarity. It always helps, to speak to those entities that will bring the dream to life, that will support you in bringing the dreams to life. Okay. Now, when I say 750 million, it doesn't mean that I'm going to put an effort of 750 million. No, the effort I'm going to put in, I'm going to put the effort of inspiring 7 billion people. All right. That is the kind of effort that I put in. Why? Because I'm going to aim for the moon. If I land on the stars, then it's great. All right. But I always going to aim for the moon. 750 million is a number that will serve as guidance. But no, the real impact, the real effort that is behind the man, the real effort is aiming on impacting every single soul on the face of this earth.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Impacting every soul on this earth.
Yeah.
Yes, Steven, I have to say, yes, you are different. Yeah, you say be different, but you are different, to say the least. Now, and I got to say thank you for coming on today. It's been a joy, a pleasure, and yes, you've exhilarated me to go on and do more.
Yes.
There you go. Can you tell the lovely people out there how they can find you on the big wide world web? Very simple.
My name is Steven Dossou, as how we were going to put it in the description or whatever, Steven Dossou. If you go on Facebook, you'll find me. If you go on Instagram, you'll find me. If you go on LinkedIn, you will find me. Or you can go to stevendossou.com. I am that too. Or if you want to check out my speaker profile, all you got to do is sdprofile.info. Okay, info, normal, that the way you write it, INFO. sdprofile.info, and I'll be there responding to your call.
Perfect. Yeah. And as Steven just said, yes, it will be in the show notes, the description. You'll be able to find all of this information. Go out, book him, sign him up. He is a very inspirational fellow. He is a very energetic fellow. He is a joy to speak to. I can testify to that as I have just spoken to him now. But yes, I'd like to say thank you to Steven. I'd like to say thank you to you, my friends, my life warriors out there today who have stuck with us to the very end, who have gone through the conversations, the trials, the tribulations, all of these things. And I'd like to say to you, please stay well, stay safe, be awesome, be excellent, be fantastic. Be all the positive bees you can be in this world and then some. Have a great day, guys. Peace and love to you.
Yeah.
Peace.
Wow.
And yeah.